Welcome, Greg Van Eekhout. Appreciate you making the time for us. The esteemed audience knows that I never force my guests to suffer through the torture of listening to me summarize either their book or their background. So if you would give a esteemed audience an overview of your background, and we'll go from there.
Okay. I've been writing since college, late high school. So far, I think Fenris and Mott is my 10th published novel. I think that's about right. Start to lose count a little, and I've been writing novels since the first decade of the 21st century. I've done stuff for older readers. I've done stuff for middle grade readers. The stuff for middle grade readers is my favorite. And mostly I do science fiction and fantasy. That's pretty much who I am. I live in San Diego, California, pretty near the beach. And I spent most of my time hunched over a computer keyboard frowning.
Frowning because it's difficult to get the words, or frowning because you're empathizing so much with your characters?
No, it's difficult. It is difficult to get the words. It's the only job I've ever had that I really enjoy. At this point, I can't imagine doing something different, but that doesn't mean it's not hard or frustrating. It always feels like everything I'm trying to do is just beyond my skill set. And every day I sit down at the computer, I play this game in my mind where, like, I'm trying to convince myself that I can get those words that I need to get that day, or that I could tell the story I'm trying to tell the way I try to say it. And it's always a struggle. At the end of the day, I get my words. And if I didn't accomplish what I was trying to accomplish, just in terms of the quality of the words or whatever, I know I have another chance to make that up, to revise. But every day I always have that thought in my mind, like, oh, I can't do it. I can't do this. So that's why I frown.
Fair enough. What time of day are we talking? Are you starting with coffee, or? I'm
starting with a lot of coffee. I start with a half a pot, so that's 6 cups. Now, it sounds like a lot, but they're 6-ounce cups because that's just the way coffee makers are made, that they measure cups in 6 ounces. So I'm probably drinking like the equivalent of like 2 or 3 grandes at Starbucks per day. And then I look at YouTube a lot, and Instagram and Pinterest, and I waste a bunch of time. And then eventually I start to feel bad about myself. So I start writing, and then I set myself a pretty modest goal, like maybe like between 500 and 1,000 words a day. But I do that 6 days a week, pretty consistently. And that's what my work day is like. And if I finish those words early, that's great. Then I have the rest of the day to kind of mess around, take a nap, which is increasingly, that's a very high priority, is to get my words done so I can take a nap. And just do some hobbies or whatever. But if the words don't come, then I might find myself working after dinner, late at night, however long it takes to get those 500 to 1,000 words.
So you're not going to bed until you've got those words done?
Yeah, although honestly, because it's only 500 to 1,000 words, I usually manage to get it done like, midday. It's not often anymore that I have to pull an all-nighter or something like that, unless I'm behind or I'm working on multiple projects and they all have looming deadlines. Then yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since I found myself like writing like a 12 or a 14-hour day. I really try not to do that. The other thing I do is, like, I don't try to go over my word count by too much, because I find, like, if I'm trying to get 1,000 words and instead I get 2,500, then probably for the next 4 days I'm ruined, and I'm not going to get any words, and then it's not going to average out to even like my minimum word count. So I'm just very worker-like about it. I go to the factory, I punch in, I do my job, and when the piece is finished, that's when I can get up and go do something else.
Gotcha. And of course, being an author, unfortunately, is a lot more than just the glory of frowning and beating yourself up over not writing. Although I think that's a part of every writer's process. Yeah, I don't know why it's so masochistic. So I try to tell myself, like, this first 20 minutes, I know I'm going to screw around. Of course, I've got the internet, and I consistently close it about the same time. And instead of just accepting that that's part of the process, is to screw around first, then this about the same time every time, I'm like, no, you're wicked and evil. Stop it. Do the right thing.
The challenge with writing, the biggest challenge is just getting over your own psychology. I don't know why that is. And maybe it's because the brain is just saying, like, you expect me to make something out of literally nothing. You're not even giving me, like, it's not like you're building a birdhouse where, like, you have some wood and you have some tools. You just have nothing in front of you. And the brain is saying, like, no, these are not good working conditions. And I'm protesting. I'm not going to cooperate with you. But yeah, we all put ourselves through that for some reason. I don't know why.
But it is what it is, because I've talked to enough writers now to know that that's fairly consistent behavior. There's like one or two healthily arranged mentally folks that I've encountered that's not a problem. I'm so jealous. Like, wow.
I don't get them. I don't know. That's a different planet than I come from. Our brains evolved differently. I don't know what's up with them.
I tell myself the lie that, well, they're just not artistically tortured enough, so that must come through in their work. It must not be as beautiful. Now it's beautiful work. It's absolutely incredible.
Oh yeah. No, I think good work actually comes from happiness and contentedness and a sense of security. I don't think the suffering helps at all. I don't know what the purpose of it is, and it probably has something to do with, I don't know, like maybe in the early days, our monkey predecessors, before they get up and like climb a tree for fruit, they'd be like, oh God, not today. I just want to sit here on the savannah. If a lion comes and gets me, or a large monkey comes in, or a large eagle comes and gets me, but I just don't want to climb the tree. And then eventually they climb the tree and they get the fruit. And they're like, why did I waste 20 minutes on the savannah doing that? That was purposeless and nonsense.
And those monkeys eventually, what do we call them? Those ancestors eventually became us. And then in the opposite tree, the well-organized, mentally healthy ancestors became the writers who are having this issue now.
Yeah, maybe they were in the tree getting the fruit, and the tree got struck by lightning and burnt down, and it was the lazy, maladjusted monkeys that survived. I don't know. I don't know why we do that.
You mentioned it's a game you're playing that you want to hit this count. So when you hit it, how do you reward yourself? And conversely, how do you punish yourself if you don't?
I don't punish myself. Like, writing is supposed to be fun. There are a lot of other jobs that pay better or more secure. And I'm not saying they're better jobs or easier jobs, but we could do something else. And I chose to write. So I've learned not to punish myself. And if there's a day that I really don't get that word count, that's okay. I've done this long enough that I know I'm going to hit my deadline one way or the other. I'm going to hit my deadline because I'm consistent about writing 6 days a week. I pretty much know that I'm not going to be panicking to hit my deadline. I just know that about myself. And in terms of rewards, the reward really is just getting to get up and go do something else, whether that's getting up, and going to have like a fish taco for lunch, or more usually just give myself permission to waste time because I have the satisfaction knowing that I got my word count that day, or just do something else, pursue another interest. I mean, that's a luxury that I have. That's kind of a reward in of itself, just having the luxury to know that you've done your job, and to go off and get to have fun or stimulate your brain in some other way that's not work.